Alright gang, welcome back to our playthrough on Agro, which is what we're going to call it for short from now on. It's still October. We're still in the process of finishing up here, cultivating this field. I also have the worker going still strong over there on that field. Now, I did make one minor modification, one minor update. Very slight, but I did find a slightly bigger header for the sunflowers and corn, etc. So I purchased that, sold the other one, purchased that, and so we're using that there. It's pretty much a 1 meter width increase. It's really not that big of a deal, but it was almost the exact same price. Found it on ModHub, so I went ahead and purchased it. That's the biggest one I could find. So we're just going to have to go with it. There's nothing else bigger for, at least on ModHub, that I was able to find. It's almost 14 meters, I think, now, that width. Or at least 13 and a half, somewhere around there. So it will help, but probably won't really make that big of a difference, unfortunately. So we're going to fold this thing up, and then we're going to start drilling this field. Now, this field itself, we're going to actually put in soybeans. We're going to use our planter, because we can use the planter to actually drill soybeans. So we're going to put soybeans in here. Oh, shit, there's a big section here that was missed. I thought the worker got this. Never mind. We have to do this still. But once we're done with this, we will put that in. Yeah, there's a new header I did find, though, for cereal crops, or for like soybeans, etc. That we will be getting as well. It is a much bigger increase. I think it's like 18 or 19 meters. We're at current, I think we're at 14? Where are we at currently? 15.2. So, again, it's not going to make a massive change, similar to the one we bought for the sunflowers over there, but it will help in the long run with how big these fields are. Every little bit's going to help speed things up for us. But how's everybody doing today? Hopefully you're all doing well. Things are good here. Things are good, all things considered. Things are good. Hopefully you're all enjoying, so far, the playthrough of the 100 horsepower challenge. I'm having a lot of fun with that. If you haven't, make sure you go check that out. Once a week, every Saturday. It's a fun series. It's going to be a very difficult series to accomplish, very similar to the Higher Richmond series, which I think at this point we've all kind of come to an agreement that I'm not even going to get anywhere near a billion. I'm probably not even going to get anywhere near 100 million, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. We probably will utilize that big header as well on the High Richmond series, just to try to speed things up. But we'll see where we get to and what happens. But more than likely, that's also going to occur, depending, right? Probably buy a few more fields too, which may end up helping us if we're able to find some that are ready to harvest. Because when we're done, one thing I am going to do in the High Richmond series, which we don't normally do. We do in this series because we're taking the money and moving on to another map. But normally, whenever we end a series, we kind of keep everything we purchase. That series, we're not going to do that. We're going to sell everything, with the exception of the stuff that we initially started with, that we still have remaining. So the field originally, right, the house, all that stuff, like that's all going to stay. The initial barn. But everything else we can sell. So if we sell all that stuff, I think we're going to have a much closer chance to get to 100 million than what some might anticipate. And if we continue on the quest we're doing, we might still have a chance to get even over that. Alright, so this should be done now. This field is so huge, I just want to make sure. I want to scan it one more time because this little section here was missed. Yeah, we got it all. We got it all. Forgot to turn that off. Let me do a quick save here. Let me turn off those interactive zone markers really quick here. Didn't show it on camera, but when I went and sold the other header, I couldn't figure out where I was selling it at, so I had to turn those markers on to figure it out. It wasn't as easy to find as you might expect. So let's put this away. And I saw that the worker is full on the sunflower, so we need to unload that. So let's drop that for a second. Let's Let's jump into here. We are going to have to turn it around. Now the sunflowers are still best to sell, so we're still going to go and sell these directly, just like we did before in the last episode. And we're going to continue on here trying to get all these sunflowers done. As much as I would love to get them done in this episode, I don't know if we will. Look at how big this field still is. I mean, we haven't even touched the surface of this field. I'm not really too concerned about the money because of how much money we're making off these sunflowers and how many we still have remaining to go here. And we still have the cornfield. We haven't even started yet. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. We might put soybeans in 2 fields. This field, obviously, is probably going to always be a cereal crop because I can get a bigger header for it, so it'll be a little bit faster. Those other 2 fields over there, I think, is what would be more beneficial for our planter stuff, so our sunflowers or corn. I said I was going to put soybeans in that field that we just cultivated, and I think I still am going to put soybeans in there, but after that harvest, if we, continue on in the series, probably will always be sunflowers or corn then. This one will absolutely either be soybeans or another cereal crop if we buy another drill. I don't know if we will or not. We might just stick with the planter drill, and then if we want to do cereal crops, it's just always going to be a soybean type of approach. But we'll see. We'll see what we decide to go with. Alright, let the worker continue doing their thing there. Here we go. Jump back in here into the fint. And let's get the planter out. Now we are going to have to buy we're going to have to buy a sprayer and or a fertilizer spreader, because this only does one thing. It only does the drilling. So easy there, Walter. I see you, buddy. That's another purchase we have to make. So just recently, I finished my first playthrough of little shameless plug again, really quick. Apologize if you're not interested in it. Just finished my first playthrough of the deluxe remaster of Dead Rising. Loved it. Loved every minute of it. There are multiple endings you can get. We probably will go through and try to get those on the other channel at some point, but yeah, we got the first playthrough done. So if you haven't, feel free. Please check it out. All the support is greatly appreciated as we try to get to 1,000 on that channel. We're pretty close. At the time of this recording, I think we hit 900, so 100 away. Not too far. Not too far to go. This is a nice width for a planter here. This is a real big width. This will help us out tremendously on this field here. Still can only go 10 mile per hour. I would like to be able to go a little bit faster, if I'm honest with you. I'd like, if I wish there was, I know a lot of PC players have some pretty insane mods where they can basically turn off the limiter of, the speed or whatever, so I could go 26, which is what the tractor goes, right? I don't have that option, at least from what I can tell on ModHub. I don't think there's anything out there on ModHub for that. Although if they had it, I certainly would have that installed right now and utilize it. So if you do know something, please let me know down below in the comments. I'm looking for that. That will help me in this series, and it'll also help me in the Ohio Richland series, if I'm honest with you. That's really the biggest problem with the Ohio Richland series, is that time, right? It takes us too long to do the stuff we have to do. So we're not progressing as much because of that reason. So, and there's a couple of things that could be wrong there, right? It's my own fault for multiple reasons. I mean, I did a lot of things wrong in that series, but I still had a lot of fun with it. I'm still having a lot of fun with it, I should say. I'm saying it like it's already over. It's not over, but I mean, the getting to $1 billion, I think that's pretty much over, but there's still a very, very, very slim chance. I would have to do everything perfectly. I'd have to get a lot more productions, and I'd have to really, sort that out. Somebody was telling me that cookies and or mayonnaise are big, big money makers. I've never done either one of those, so maybe we should look into doing that on that series. I don't know, I'm just kind of rambling now, gang. Let's get going on this. I don't know how much we'll do of this. It depends on how long it takes. I don't want to, do another massive long time lapse. I did one in the last episode, and I don't necessarily want to do that every single episode. I don't want to give you a 25 real-time minute time lapse, which we shrink down to 7 or 8 minutes, whatever, 6, 7, 8 minutes. That's too long. I think the sweet spot for a time lapse is somewhere between the 2.5 to 4.5 mark, 5 at the max. I think truly that's the sweet spot for a time lapse. But these fields are so huge that it's really easy to get into that point where I'm just having fun, enjoying doing the drilling, and before I know it, oh shit, this is a 25-minute time lapse we're doing. But I digress. In any case, we're going to continue around the headland here. We'll see where we get to. I'll try to keep it reasonable. Yeah, we'll see where we get to, I guess. All right, things are going pretty well here, gang, with the exception of I'm not putting in soybeans. I'm putting corn in. I swear I flipped to the soybeans. Clearly I didn't. So it's corn, gang. We're putting corn in here. So I apologize for accidentally, I guess, lying to you about that. But yeah, we went and sold another load of sunflowers, so that was good. Made us good money, back up to $500,000. And we're probably going to be selling another one here pretty quickly. Pretty sure the worker is done, or if they're not done, they're very close to being done up here. I went ahead and put the worker back on over there on the drilling. They're having some issues with the trees, as we kind of expected. But we're getting through it. That field is actually pretty close to being done. I would say it's more than halfway at this point, so not too bad. Now, it is October. We're going to run out of sunlight pretty quickly. I think the problem is really going to be on this field. Trying to get this field done. We're probably going to have to drop the time down a little bit. In November, more than likely, because we're probably going to jump to November after this month to get that done. Now, we do have to also go get a fertilizer spreader, right? We've got to spread fertilizer on that field that we're actively drilling with corn, which was supposed to be soybeans, but we'll gloss over that. So, while this is unloading, let's see. There's nothing in the used market still. Kind of expected that, because we're still in the same month. But sometimes things pop up later on in the day. Now, do we want to do an actual spreader, or do we want to do a sprayer? I mean, we're going to need a sprayer no matter what. It's more expensive to buy that stuff, though. I mean, 36 meters on just spreading fertilizer, that's pretty damn good. Doesn't hold that much, but that's a very, very nice width. We have utilized that spreader many times, so if we can find something different, I would like to go for it, but as far as the width goes, I'm not sure we're going to find anything better than that. It just doesn't hold that much. We need something that has a little bit more oomph. This one, I guess, does. But it holds pretty much the same amount as the other one does. So just a dropper? No, that's a spreader. 42 meters. Maybe we'll go with that one. Extra large capacity. I think that's the one we're going to go with. We can put that down, but we still have to buy a sprayer, so 42. Yeah, I think we just go with that one, right? Sprayers. I mean, I could buy one, I suppose. I go an actual standalone one. That'd probably be the best way to go. It'd be the fastest way to go. We are utilizing this one already, but I think that is the biggest width we have, 48.5. I don't think there's anything even close to that. Yeah, there's not. 36 meters still isn't too bad, but do I want to use the same one? Maybe I'll go out there and look and see if I can find something else on ModHub, potentially. I don't know if there's going to be anything else out there to find or not, though. I really haven't looked that much at sprayers, honestly, on ModHub, so standalone sprayers, I should say. I bet there's not much out there, though. How full are we? Okay, we're not full yet. Let's just drive this kind of towards the other end with the harvester here, because we're going to... He probably won't get to the end, more than likely. Now, as far as this field goes, gang, I mean, look. There is a lot still to get through. Now, obviously, over here, right, it starts to shrink. But, man, that's a lot of field still to get done. I'm thinking we might not even get it done today. This field. Because of it's so massive. Absolutely massive. But we don't have withering on, we don't have seasons on, anything like that, so it's not a big deal if we don't get it done, with the exception of the fact that it just takes us longer and we're making a little bit less money. That's not that big of a deal. So I'm actually going to go ahead and stop the worker here. I'm going to fold this up. We're going to actually fill this back up, because it's only got 7% seed left in it, so we need to get that filled up again. We're going to have to probably take over and do a little bit more around the trees anyway. The worker just cannot figure out the trees just in general whenever there's something in the way, so they're not going all the way to the end like we want. Now, some of you were asking or saying something about this pole here. There you go. See that? I'm running right into it. I can drive through the poles over there in the field, but I can't drive through this one. I just wanted to show and prove it to you that I wasn't lying about it. That's why when I was over here and I saw the worker go right through the pole, I was like, man, I was not expecting that at all. And I can drive through the poles on the fields. It's a very, very weird issue. So here you go. Watch. I'll drive right through this one. Whoop. Right through it. No problem. Okay, where did the workers stop at? Actually, it looks like they did an okay job. They got right up to the tree, which I'm actually very surprised about. It's not the best camera work, I apologize. It's also part of the tracks on the tractor that kind of spins around pretty easy and it kind of messes up the camera a little bit, but... So I don't know. I don't know if I can find anything on ModHub, maybe we go that route. Otherwise, we might just have to utilize this one. I like that Burt Hound, but the width is smaller, much smaller than the Hardy or the Hardini, whatever it is. And for the size of the fields we're dealing with, I really don't think we can afford to go with a smaller width. I think we need pretty much the biggest widths of everything we can possibly find. That's why I went out there. Partially, thanks to all of you in the comments saying that I need to get something bigger, so I need to find these bigger width headers, etc. out there on ModHub, and I went through and I did the best I could. I think I found the biggest ones I could find, just to try to help us out here, because the more we're doing this series, the more we're doing this map, I should say, the more to me it's looking like Silver Run is going to be less and less likely, or if it is, it's a very, very, very short mini series right before FS22 comes out. I'm going to come back up here to the end, and I'm going to flip back around and put it on a worker. Let them go. They should be able to do the rest of the field now that I kind of got around the trees and there's no tree issues anymore. They should. As long as my headland pass was long enough that these trees don't cause any issues, but we can look and touch that up later if we need to, right? Alright. So, while that's happening... Well, this worker thinks they're done. Okay. We're gonna have that issue now, huh? Okay, there we go. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to drive down here really quick. We're going to help unload a little bit. And then we're going to do a little jump cut here. I'm going to go out into the menu, go to ModHub, see if I can find any other standalone sprayer with a decent width that's not the Hardini or Hardy or whatever it is. I mean, if it has one that's very similar to that size width, I'm happy with it. It's just we're losing about 10 or so width by not buying that one. So, given all the circumstances here, I want to make sure we get the biggest width we can. I might actually end up getting close to filling this thing up. It's still pumping out. It's not, the numbers aren't even slowing down there in the right-hand corner. There it goes. Well, almost. Alright, we'll leave it there for now. Let me go on Mod Hub. Quick save here. Let me go on Mod Hub, see if I can find. I'll be right back. Alright, gang, I found something here. I got this Jacto Una something. I'm going to say it wrong. Jacto Uniport 4530. 42 meter width. Slightly under what the Hardini is. I think the Hardini is 46, but pretty damn close. So we're going to... would I say that is a win for us here. So I went ahead and purchased some of the fertilizer. Obviously, I didn't do all of the fertilizer. There's a reason for that, because it only holds a certain amount, and I didn't want to leave a pallet just sitting up there. And we've got our buying tank back here, so this worker thinks they're done, even though they're not. Well, we might take over 4 of them, but you get what I mean, regardless. They think that they're finished with the field, and they're not. Still quite a lot to do here on this field. We got to get all the way up down here to the end of this section, come back a couple of times, and then really, well, actually, I'm going to put on a worker for right now. I'm actually wanting to do a little bird's eye view here. I want to see, I think there's a few tiny spots that were missed. If they're just minor little spots that were missed, I'm really not that concerned with it, but if they're big ones, we definitely want to make sure we touch that up. Yeah, there's a little section right there missed. I'm not that concerned about something like that, though. That doesn't really bother me. It's just big, gaping sections, similar to how I thought we were done with the cultivating, and we clearly weren't. There's a big old section missed. Okay, looks like everything else is okay. Let me just make sure I check around. Well, nope, here's a section right here. The worker's not doing this section for whatever reason. I don't know if it's because of the trees back here or what it is. They're not going to the end. So we got to take over and take care of that as well. But in the interim, we can let the worker continue doing their thing. We can go fill up the sprayer, and we can at least spray, I don't know, half the field. This portion of the field over here. Put some fertilizer down on it. So let's do that. Let's go get this thing filled to max. Another 500 liters. I think it holds 4,500. I think. Now, we did spend pretty much all the money, right? It's almost every bit of money that we had, we spent, so it's a good thing we still have a lot of sunflowers to sell, I guess, right? Okay, how do I buy in this thing? How do I... can I not buy it? Because that's a problem. If I can't buy it out of this thing, that's a big problem. It's not looking like I can. Oh, shit. I mean, I'm right over where the entry is. It's right here. Where that little red clip is. Okay, well, that's a problem. That means we're going to have to drive all the way up and fill it up every time. Ooh, that's not... I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Well, that sucks. Wonder why it doesn't work. It must be something... That must be the two mods are clashing with each other or something. Huh. And that's disappointing. It almost is going to make me want to go back and buy the Hardini now. Let's see. Where's the worker at? They're still going. But they're going to be full very, very soon. And this is nearly full too. So we might as well just go ahead and... Oh, there he is. It's full. I was going to say, we might as well just go ahead and unload it now. But he's full. Go sell these sunflowers. Make some money back. Some good money. We're making like $250,000 off of these just selling these sunflowers. We'd make probably a lot more if we did productions, but at this point in this series of jumping from map to map, of campaign map to map, We really don't need the money, honestly. Money's not a problem. It's just getting through and playing and enjoying all the maps at this point. We've got plenty of money. Well, I guess I shouldn't say plenty of money. If you look at if you look at the amount we have right now, you would say, no, you don't. See, no, you don't. What are you talking about? But I mean, if we sell everything like we've been doing and move on to another map, like, we have plenty of money. We'd have over 7 million at this point. Plenty of money. All the equipment we have, all the fields we have, everything. We got plenty of money. Put that back on a worker, and let's head over to the shop and sell this stuff, huh? Okay, we should have about 250 grand here. Yep. Almost $250,000 exactly in the bank. 252,594. Made $237,514,000 out of that. And he's got a full grain tank again, as kind of expected, right? So we'll get back there. We're going to unload the worker with the full grain tank, and then we'll jump into the sprayer and we'll get spraying on that field. And I guess between now and the next episode, I'm hoping that there's enough fertilizer in there to cover this field. But if there's not, I guess I'll have to make the hard decision on if we go and just utilize the Hardini or another sprayer of some sort that will allow us to do it, or if we go elsewhere. Is he still going? Yeah, he's still going. It looked for a second like he had stopped, but he's still going. So hopefully he turns around and continues doing what we want him to do. Okay, we're just going to leave it here. And we're going to get into this thing, and we're going to get going, man. It's got a very unique, weird drop there. The animation there is different than the other sprayers. Or am I just going crazy? Maybe I'm going crazy. But to me, it looks like it's different. It's definitely different, right? Now I'm going to have to go do an episode on the Pioneer Challenge, the Alone in the World map, immediately after this, and make sure that I'm not going crazy, that it is a different kind of drop. It definitely is. Huh. I like it. It's cool. So let's get to work here. Let's get this done. I think the field is nearly fully drilled, so I'm just going to kind of go around the head then like we normally would, and then we'll go up and down the middle as expected. Yeah, let's actually, I'm kind of spraying stuff I really don't need to be spraying there. I need to touch that up too. Let me just move this out of the way really quick. We can touch these little sections up here that weren't hit for whatever reason. Just take over for the worker, because they're going to have issues with this section anyway. But let's get this done, and yeah, we'll put another quick time lapse in. Well, we nearly got the field done. I probably could have got it done. I was a little bit more frugal with my spraying. I kind of was spraying over top of things that had already been sprayed, but Now, before we take it all the way back up to the shop to buy more or trade it out for something else, I want to verify and make sure that maybe it's just because the buying silo maybe had a different type of fertilizer than what I put in there, liquid fertilizer than I put in there. So I want to kind of run to our buying silo just to double check and make sure that wasn't the issue. So let's let that continue to do the unload. Let's fold this up and let's go see if it'll let us buy any now from there. If it does, great. The problem is solved. If not, well, it's starting to get really dark too, so it's kind of hard for you probably all to see and watch. So I'm going to try to do this as fast as I possibly can. And then in the next episode, since it's going to be November, it's going to be even shorter period of sunlight. We probably will drop this speed down to 2 just to make sure we get everything accomplished. We're not going to get that sunflower field done today. That's clear as day. No. No, it will not let me put anything in there. Okay, well, let's take it back to the shop then, and I'm probably going to trade it out. Unfortunately, I really like it. I really, really do like this one, but unfortunately, the shop is so far away. It's not financially beneficial. It's not time beneficial. There's all kinds of things I could utilize as a reason. All right, made it back. Yep, no problem. So it's just something to do with those two mods not liking each other. We went with the Hardy. I thought it was a Hardy. Then I said it could be a Hardini because I couldn't really remember the actual name of it. We went with this one. It is a identical. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me, Scarlet? Really? Really, Scarlet? Really? Don't honk the horn at me. You stopped randomly. I was behind you. Just keep driving and you would have no issues. Idiot. It has now gone dark. It's going to be very hard to see where I've been here, but I'm going to do the best I can to get this sprayed. As a matter of fact, I can't see a damn thing. I have no idea where I've been, Dan. Here we go. Here we go. I'm going to miss portions. I know it. And we're going to kind of waste some fertilizer here again, but I don't really care. Let's just see if we can get it all done in one fell swoop here. This is going to be damn near impossible. I think I'm going to have to utilize the map here. Actually, I think we got it all. No, this section here, right? Yeah, there's that section there we just have to get. Okay. Gang, I can't see. I can't imagine that you can see any better because I know with OBS sometimes the color changes a little bit. It's a little bit darker for you sometimes. So I can only imagine that you can't see anything either right now, but I'm gonna try to basically use the map and just kind of go off of that. Kind of slightly see it now at the angle that I'm utilizing. Very, 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 very slightly, but I kind of can see it. Okay, there's one little spot, and we're done. Okay. Fold that up. We can go put this away. This is done. So, we're going to leave the episode at that point, gang. Still a lot of this field. I mean, look at it. I mean, that's probably, we're probably halfway-ish now at this point. Maybe slightly over halfway, but not by much. Not by much at all. So I hope you enjoyed it. This is going to be a long series at this point, gang, and I'm having a lot of fun on this one, actually. I was expecting it to be more torture than it has been. It is still kind of torture, I guess, but you get what I mean. I was expecting a more brutal situation than it has been, whereas we're able to find some bigger equipment to implement that has helped tremendously. If we had to utilize some smaller equipment, this would be torture, but it's not been too bad, at least not yet. So, we'll leave it there, gang. Hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe button if you're new. It's free. Last free thing in the world. Well, one of the last free things in the world to do. That you can do. And it helps me out an absolute ton. And I'll catch you all next time.